one of the key differences as to why the Communist Party of Russia, the Soviets, fell in Moscow. When they were given the order by the party to fire, to take out these citizens, they refused. They said, we will not do this. In China, you had the opposite. In China, the tanks rolled. In China, the streets ran red. Over 10,000 students and workers just killed in one night. And the West acts as if this isn't the same group of people that did all that. And if this party feels a threat to its own leadership, like it saw with the release of COVID-19, and not to go down that rabbit hole, but when that thing got out, right, however it got out, they knew that there was an issue of what they call the theory of dynastic decline and the mandate of heaven. Every dynasty in China has always risen, attained new heights, become prosperous, declined, fallen, become corrupt, and then eventually replaced during an uprising with a new dynasty. A dynasty is falling when certain signs are seen throughout society, throughout the country. And one of those signs is foreign invasion. Another one is economic distress, famine, but also pestilence, disease that spreads throughout the land is seen as a sign of dynastic decline and always has been historically in China. And because this is such a widespread superstition, that the legitimacy of the CCP regime was then called into question by this. But what it seems like happens is he went so overzealous with it and so overboard with the lockdowns in search of this zero COVID policy, which was always a joke. The same way that Chairman Mao thought that if you killed all the birds, you would get more crops, when it turns out that the birds were also eating locusts and all the parasites and the bugs that were coming through. And so when there weren't any birds around because the party went in and slaughtered them all, then all of the crops were destroyed.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
So, I wish he had actually talking to like a farmer. Like, we can defeat the disease by locking people in their homes, right? It's the same type of mentality, this total power mentality. But I've always said that communism, it's not an ideology. Communism is the politicization of jealousy and envy and greed.